What do you have to do to qualify for Milan?
We compete at the national championships in January.
Yeah.
So similar to gymnastics, or I think swimming does it, where it's right before. They don't set the team until about a month out.
Yeah. So skate well at the national championships. And it's, nationals are always an intense, I don't know how your qualification works for rugby, but it's just, there's a lot of pressure, but not necessarily more pressure than any other competition, depending on the type of athlete that you are. You want to do your best every single time you go out there. And so it's really just enjoying the experience together. And that's the different perspective that I think we're bringing into it now.
What are some common misconceptions about figure skating? Obviously, there's a lot of media about it. What is something they get wrong?
If you watch any figure skating movie, it's usually that we don't get along with hockey players or something, right?
Right. Oh, they smell. Oh. They mess up the ice.
We get along great with hockey players. The women's
We
team
can't
for
speak
Team
for
USA is
everyone, but-
awesome.
Yeah.
And then all the guys that we've met, I think there's so much mutual respect with other athletes,
Right.
where it's super easy to get along and build rapport right away.
Yeah, I think you just we're very fortunate to have reached a level where, like, being at the Paris Games and meeting athletes from a completely different season of sport, it's so fascinating to learn about the process. And you do see these interesting parallels and similarities, and everyone requires so much commitment and there's a lot of sacrifice. And so that being a misperception that hockey players and figure skaters don't like each other, I think that's more sort of catered towards movies when there's a
Tell you
will
what.
they won't they sort of dynamic.
He's the hockey player.
Yeah.
They get along in the books I read. I'll tell you that.
Another one, not all figure skaters can do a triple axel. That's one of the first questions that we get, like, can you do a triple axel? It's like, no, that's not our discipline.
Right.
And then when people say skating, they're like, oh, skateboarding? And we're like, no, figure skating.
Close.
Close. Almost, but no.
Growing up, you would meet someone at school and they'd be like, oh, what do you do? And I'd say, oh, I skate. And the first thought is like, oh, skateboarding. Like, oh, can you do an ollie? It's like, no, it's like ice skating. It's like, oh, so like speed skating? No, not speed skating. It's like figure skating. And then ice dance is like, what's that?
Yeah, right.
But I think that we've been working hard to try and put ice dance more on the map. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I do think that's so right. The idea that athletes are competitive or judging of each other, I've not seen that much. And when you're in the Olympic Village, you start watching every sport there is and have such a respect for it. It's so funny. The negative comments I get are always from people who aren't in sports, and then I have the best rugby players in the world who are the men's rugby who are the nicest to me. It's like there's a camaraderie there. I think athletes respect athletes, whatever discipline.
Right.
And always like putting the good name of ice dance out there. Do you feel this pressure to be like squeaky clean role models, or what is that like?
Maybe when we were younger, because we teamed up when we were 9 and 12. And I think just growing up in an environment where everyone is kind of aware of who you are, it makes you more on watch, kind of.
Even pre-social media, just constantly being judged,
Right.
in a sport that is judged, right?
But now I feel like it's so healthy to just be yourself, because we're all so dimensional. And that's really what I would want in a role model, is someone who's able to not just be squeaky clean and perfect all the time.
That's Alona's. Alona's like, sometimes she'll post things. She's like, well, I'm an adult woman. Like, I'm a role model, but also I am an adult woman who is her own person. I'm not going to dim myself to be what, society thinks I should all the time.
Yeah.
Well, because there's a lot that comes with that role model title, and so much about being perfect and doing all this. And I'm like, I am great at that. Like, I'm a good person, but also there's stuff about me I wouldn't want you to replicate and all this. So I think I am a role model, but I think what people have attached to the term role model is perfection, never doing anything wrong. It's like, no, I get mad. I do all this. I've said the wrong things before. So I'm wary with that word. I do think I am one, but I'm wary with it.
It's unfair.
You're really great.
Thanks. I was fishing there. I got it.
You're really great.
Yeah.
I said it too.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to retain this Fitzsimmons status
girls are
that I have.
magic.
Girls are
Yeah,
magic.
Yeah, reading is hot.
Speaking of girls being magic, Maya, do you feel like you're judged differently as a female athlete versus a male athlete?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think there are certain conversations that female athletes have to navigate, whether it's how you're perceived. There's more of a focus on the visual versus the performance. And I feel like what's been so healthy for me this time around is that the way that I reconnected with my body and got in shape, I was very patient with myself on my timeline, and it's more about how strong I feel versus how I look.
Love that.
And for you, Alex, any problems?
Any problems being a male athlete? You want to join this conversation?
Obviously, when I was growing up in the sport, I received a lot of positive reinforcement. There's a lot of encouragement that gets directed towards young male skaters because people don't want to lose them to other sports. And there's maybe an awareness that if you are a male skater, you might be receiving negativity from other communities for being in the sport of figure skating. And so I was always like encouraged almost unfairly when I didn't deserve it. Like, you know, I was winning participation medals because I was the only boy in the competition, and Maya was winning actual medals because she was good.
She's putting in work.
But people were telling me, "Oh, Alex, you did such a great job." So I'm sitting in the backseat with my like fake participation medal, being like, "Yeah, we're the same. We're both good at this." And when we started skating together, that was more the wake up call because it's like, "Oh, she's like so much better than me."
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that there's really. It's unique that we're in a sport where men and women work together.
Right.
And then it's even more unique that we are siblings in this sport where there aren't very many.
How is it when people compare the two of you? That was my thing growing up. I hated being compared to them. That was like my whole shtick. It was something that I always tried to like shove, but it feels inevitable when you guys are partners together. Has it gotten better? How do you deal with it?
I feel like that just happens with siblings all the time. I mean, with us, usually they'll either package deal us where they just assume that we're completely the same or that we're twins even though we're not, and assume that we like all the same things, or they'll compare us to each other. And that can really kind of mess with your sense of self as you're growing up. But it's really been taking the time to build our own relationships, find our own friends, follow our natural curiosities that I think have helped us better define who we are.
Yeah, some of those identity things can really like set themselves on you or come from external places at a very young age, simply based on the assumptions that people make because of who's the oldest one or who seems to be the most outgoing in that particular moment. And that can kind of follow you through your life where it's like, oh, Alex is the outgoing one and Maya's the quiet one. Well, actually, Maya's only going to say something that's worthwhile when there is something to say, and Alex just runs his mouth all the time.
Right.
You know, like those types of things
You and me both.
are interesting to navigate. But we always have conversations about it and try to give each other the space to be individuals. And it's cool to be able to, you know, be the Shibutani siblings or the Shib Sibs or whatever. And so we try to make the most of it. If people want to put us together and see us as a singular entity, it's like, okay, well then there's a power in that maybe.
Alona asked earlier about, I'm now wondering, sports psychs, you say you do see them. Do you see one separately or ever together since you are a team? How does that work?
We work with the same one, and we'll do team sessions, but then also individual sessions.
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah, it's really helpful to be able to break that down because especially even with family, there are experiences that you go through in life or as an athlete in this case that people might not be able to relate to as much as they try.
Yeah.
And to be real with them opens up a window or a door to something that they could then become very concerned about. But it's just the reality of what your experience is. And someone who's professionally able to navigate that with you is like super important to have.
But then when it comes to identity as siblings, I feel like we give each other the space to explore, but then also the support because we're able to have those conversations about, oh, how did that experience make me feel? Or what do you think? Or like I remember asking Alex, what do you think? Am I too quiet? And he's like, no, you're just very thoughtful. And so it's nice to have someone reframe the situation.
Who knows you and can see that. To be loved is to be known.